Baka
schedule.
magkalisan yung mga tao sa Discord pag kumanta ako ng totoo.
Nabawasan ng
Okay.
members.
Right,
Mababawasan ng
guys.
members.
So,
Oh,
tada, here are
shit.
the prompts.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Biglang ganun,
Oh,
no?
no.
Out of
Right.
nowhere. Out of nowhere, here are the prompts. So, there, you select one, select three. Then we
Oof.
have 30 minutes to write it. And then there's a 6-minute break after. So actually, babalik tayo dito ng 9:06. Tama ba?
Mm.
So
Yes.
basically, we return with at 9:06. Then we're gonna start reading, starting with Edge and yung order of participants. So, Edge. Ernest Joseph Guzman is a graduate of the Pontifical and Royal University of Santo Tomas. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in science, majoring in civil engineering. He is aspiring to become a best-selling novelist and is currently writing his very first book. He plans to release it by methods of self-publishing or through electronic means via an ebook. So, guys, let's welcome Edge.
Yay.
Hey.
All
Woohoo!
right.
Yes.
So, ayun. Tinry kong gamitin yung 3 prompts. Wait. Shall I begin? Yeah. Sure daw yung title. Ayaw mo ba? So, okay. So,
Di ayaw. Charot. Di ayaw.
This is such a confusing word. Ayaw mo ba? It's like, I don't know. How do you use that? Do you say, like, do you want it or not? I don't know. Sorry, I was just thinking.
okay.
I just like
You'll
it's
find out soon enough, I think.
negative.
So,
I don't
Joey,
know. Okay.
yeah. Joey found a map of the Philippines resting on a table in his office. He took a coin, closed his eyes, and then he threw it upwards. Wherever the coin lands shall be my next destination, he said. He was letting fate decide, but deep inside, he wanted to go to Siargao, a place he's never been to before. He took a deep breath as he slowly opened his eyes. The coin was resting right on top of Siargao. Yes, he exclaimed. His colleagues all turned their heads to him. What? Nikki asked. Did you win? Did you win the lottery or something? They did not realize how loud he expressed his excitement for something that would have been petty for his colleagues. Huh? What? No. It's nothing. Nikki looked at the map. She noticed the island where the coin landed. Are you planning to go to Siargao? Did you let that coin decide for you? She asked, smirking. He finally gave up and just answered her questions truthfully. I was just inspired by a song called Ayaw Mo Ba by Catfight, you know. I was listening to it this morning when I suddenly felt the urge to travel anywhere. Wow, Nikki replied. Sana all may pang travel. He asked her out of the blue. Do you want to come with me? Huh? Was all that came out of her mouth. Libre ko. Ayaw mo ba? Ah, eh. Sorry, Joey said as soon as he realized that what he did was as good as a confession of his feelings for her. I don't know what I was thinking when I said those things. Eh. Ano, Nikki said after being silent for a good minute. Okay lang ba? The corner of his lips had reached the heavens and beyond when he heard her response. His eyes sparkled so brightly that if aliens living light years away existed, they would have sworn that they had seen two bright, shining stars right next to each other. Joey booked 2 tickets to Siargao at the end of their shift, and he hopped his way out of their office like an innocent child on his way to the ice cream store. He never thought that he was just one slip away from the best chapter of his life. Oh, There's dogs. Werewolf story pala to. He had always been living in fear, but he gained courage right after making a mistake that turned out to be the pathway to the story that he had always been hoping for.
Right.
That's it.
Sorry. Hi, MC. Can you place yourself on mute?
Nagulat ako. It's okay. Sa akin.
Ah, sa inyo yung dogs.
Ah, no, 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 no.
Okay, sige.
Nagulat lang ako.
Yeah. Okay lang.
Okay lang sa akin.
Can you repeat yung last two lines?
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
three
last
lines?
two lines.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He never thought that he was just one slip away from the best chapter of his life. He had always been living in fear, but he gained courage right after making a mistake that turned out to be the pathway to the story that he had always been hoping for. That's it. Yay.
Yay.
Yay! Thanks for sharing.
Woohoo! Yeah, thanks for that.
Hindi. Joke. Nice. I like that.
Andun yata lahat ng prompts. Ah, nandun.
That's good.
So I will write a song apparently.
Ooh, song.
Mm, I see.
Yeah, actually, hindi ako familiar sa kanta. Pero, I like the story. Pang pang rom-com.
Yeah, actually it
What?
reminds me of this like high school kilig thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know,
I
High school
agree. I
kilig, no?
agree.
I
so
like it.
wholesome.
Yeah. So
Napaka-pure.
yeah. So we have this
Yeah.
roundtable feedback session. So we actually have time, so we can do it individually, like maximum 2 minutes per person. So I guess I'll start. Ayun nga. I like it. Okay, next, next person. So you don't have to use the 2 minutes naman. Pero I like it. It's nice. Yun nga, parang start ng rom-com. So
Can you just point to like the order of people?
Parang 2 weeks ago ang binabasa ko
sige,
LG,
sige.
no?
I'll post the order of the people na lang din. So
Oo. I mean, like, just sabihin mo lang kung sino na yung susunod na magko-comment.
okay. So next one, let's just do it. Kunyari sa table tayo. Will be Louie.
Hello. Parang nawala si Idol Raffy.
Ay, hello.
Oh,
Ako yung nawala. Ako yung nawala. Sorry.
okay. We're supposed to go around and make comments, no?
Yeah, like you have 2 minutes. Anything you want to say or yeah, comments, feedback.
Ang ganda nung nakaka-feel good yung eksena and also makes you want to travel na, 'di ba? Parang kasi ang carefree nung pag-decide niya ng pag-travel niya and where to go, 'di ba? Parang nakaka-feel good lang siya and also nakaka-miss na parang sana we're not in the middle of this
Aw.
pandemic kasi sana we can all do that.
Mm-mm.
Thank you. Ano tawag dito? It brings a smile to your face. Parang ganun. Thank you for sharing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then next we have Jam. Anything you want to say?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yep. We can hear you.
Okay, all right. So I like it. This is one of the themes that I actually want to explore in my own writing, yung mga wholesome, mga romantic, feel-good themes. I actually enjoy watching movies na, yung mga ganitong eksena. So I liked it. I also like this line here. Let me pull up something about the stars. Saan ba yun? Ayun, they would have sworn that they had seen two bright shining stars next to each other.
Ah, yes.
Ang ganda niya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that line. So it cemented like kung ano yung tawag dito. Like it's like the cherry on top of the whole piece for me. That's all.
Thank you.
All right.
I like
Thank
that line.
you. So next we have Corin.
Yes. No, wala namang bagong comment. Mostly yun nga, I like it. I guess because it started off like, parang it's something that can happen in everyday life. You know, we all go to work. Tapos, something unexpected happens. And I also like the idea that you turned something like so mundane or parang uneventful into something na, uy, parang life-changing kakilig to. Yun. So, yeah, thank you for sharing this. Wow. Tapos, sinulat mo lang siya kanina. Ang galing. Yun lang.
Thank you. Nami-miss ko na kasi mag-office talaga.
Kaka-cabin fever, eh.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So next we have Ira.
Yes, I also I like it too. Like I said, it reminds me of this high school kilig thing, and also the feeling of, in the beginning of a relationship or maybe whatever, and there's like this very wholesome excitement that you just want to spend time with the person. It was captured in the last two paragraphs, and that's nice. It's cool. I like it.
Nice, thank you. And then we have
Thank you.
Isla. Hi, Isla. Are you here? Joke lang.
Pakigalaw ng baso.
Oh, Ouija board. So
Paramdam.
Isla, yeah. Actually, si Isla, nagsusulat pa siya. Joke lang.
Hello.
Ayun, hello.
Sorry,
Yeah.
turn ko na.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Comment.
Yeah.
Comment.
Comment to comment. Ayun, sorry, di ko narinig. Ayun nga, sabi nga nila ang cute, tapos, nakakatuwa din na nasama lahat ng prompts into one. Kasi kanina sabi ko, hala, wait, 30 minutes lang yung meron. Tapos, parang hindi ko nakaka-intimidate na pagsama-samahin yung 3 prompts. So, ang galing. Tapos,
Actually, ang hirap nga niya.
yeah, tapos ayun nga, like they said, na-imagine ko siya na start ng movie, and ang cute din na ma-explore na, how will the trip go? Ganyan, ganyan. So, parang ma-imagine mo sila there in Siargao, which is nice. And yeah, ayun lang naman, ang cute. I like it.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So then of course we have Vince.
Hello.
Hello.
I like it. I just, I felt na, I mean, I know it's a draft, but if you want to improve it, you want and to consider the, like a few suggestions.
Sure.
Maybe, like you can, I don't know, it's just me. Maybe it's just my preference with dialogues. Parang it's tighter if parang like you remove like yung, like immediate reactions like, huh, what? Parang it can work, for example, he did not realize how loud he expressed his excitement for something that would have been petty for his colleagues. No, it's nothing. Parang ganyan. It's like, it's
okay.
it's tighter, like for example, there's another one, libre ko, ayaw mo ba? And then parang for me, parang if you don't include the it will still work, and parang there would be a stronger gravitas if, for example, libre ko, ayaw mo ba? And then the next paragraph would be, sorry, Joey. Joey said as soon as he realized that what he did was, parang it's tighter. If you want to work on it pa. Yun lang, but I like it.
I think it makes sense yung dito sa he did not realize. Kasi parang naging ano rin siya talaga, redundant nga. Ngayon ko lang din napansin. That's a good comment. Thank you.
Yeah, I like it.
Redundant siya.
I like it in general. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vince, for the feedback part then. So yeah. Okay. So I think we're good. We're now gonna move on to the next reader. We have Jam. So Jam is a grad student studying neuroscience and neurodegeneration. He's loved, basically para siyang Doctor Strange. He can create and he can destroy. So anyway, he's loved writing since his elementary days and treats every day as a learning experience to improve his craft. So okay, thank you for joining us, Jam. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for that. Very actually, yung medyo wonky pa ako sa astral projection. So I'm trying to practice that, and yung pag manipulate ng time din. So yeah, I need to work on that more. Can you hear me, guys?
Medyo choppy, pero go lang.
Talaga? Choppy ba?
Oh.
Hello?
Yep.
Yan. Okay.
Okay na.
Okay. Okay na. Ayun. So, yun. So, okay, let me pull up my... Okay, so I chose the prompt na yung alien. Well, obviously because I'm an avid fan of science fiction, and uh, and the prompt actually reminded me of yung Men in Black, like how the aliens would live, like how they would uh, you know adapt to life on Earth from their perspective. Kasi we're used to seeing the perspective ng Men in Black. Eh. So yun lang. So I'll start now. Am I still choppy?
Mas okay na.
Okay, sige. But still.
It's clear.
It's not that bad. Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. So today will be the 1,100th day I've spent life here on this planet. It's funny how time seems to zip by from the day I first set foot on it, or tentacle. A day here is just a fraction of what a day is on hours, which is 3.5 as long. And a year, well, a year on ours lasts. What's the word? Decade, is it? Blame the slow revolution of our enormous planet Regos. But from what I read in the papers, well, publication is their fancy name for it, JJ562b. Humans have a funny way of simplifying beautiful names into letters and numbers of things they can't understand, or if it's something new. I came from quite a distance, but Regosian tech has allowed us to manipulate the smallest particles that govern the universe, and in effect, we can travel anywhere by simply connecting two simple points together. I tried explaining this to a friend I met, and it was simply too complex for him. You're going to make my head explode. I had to stop at that point, fearing it might result in the horrifying death of one of their species. Thankfully, he's still alive. Today is a beautiful day. The cloaking tech I brought with me still works like a charm, though some display points are getting wonky, but nobody noticed. I used to be lazy, getting inspiration of how my avatar will appear from magazines. I later realized that that was a big mistake. Draws too much attention. So now I like to mix and match just the features I like and make the rest look boringly ordinary. I took off the special shades I wear every day just to see the colors of today. I'm seeing a lot of blues and purples. Winter. I miss seeing the reds and yellows and occasional greens in the other seasons. Let me get a little warm in this cafe. Oranges and yellows. Perfect. I'll have the latte, I said to Rick. I say to Rick, the barista. He's a Hertzian, a sector not far from us. Give or take 3 light years. Coming right up, Gert. I saw a small spiny bump beneath his apron and I gave him a quick wink. Hey, Rick. Rick quickly fixed his apron and folded the appendage. Better be more careful. I heard the dark suits are cracking down on illegals ever since that son of a bitch president sat in that pretty White House. Thanks for looking out for me, man. Anytime. I kept my hands warm by firmly holding the cup with both hands. Or tentacles. Whatever. A perfect 82 degrees. 81. 80. 79. You better drink that fast. Off to the library. The bell rang as I stepped out into the cold. Coast is clear. That's all.
Yay! Thank you.
Eh,
Nice.
Galing.
Awesome. So yeah, let's start with Corin.
Talaga. So, wow. Reading this, it actually sounds like the beginning of a sci-fi novel or sci-fi short story. So, the last sci-fi short stories I read were, um, ano to? Mono no Aware. It's also set in the future outside of the planet. And then there's this story inspired by Arrival. Both concerning space travel and aliens. Parang ganun. So, I like the perspective Also, there's this, ano ba, parang when you're alien, at the beginning, it sounded like it was, ano ba, parang, since it was new to him, it's not something he's used to. So, there's not much, um, parang wala siyang hinuhugutang sentimentality or whatever towards it. But, towards the middle and the end of the story, because he's associating with other aliens on Earth, and I get na parang they were talking about their safety because they are a different race. They were aliens, literally. So looking after each other because there's like some crazy dude in the White House. I felt that. So yun. It would be interesting to see how you would develop this if you have further
Yeah.
plans to pursue it. It could be like an entire world on its own, like a graphic novel or something. Yun. So,
Yeah.
yun lang.
All right, thank you, Corin. Then we have Ira.
Okay. Such a fun read, and I like that there's a little bit of humor. And when I was reading, I was thinking that I want more. Like, I'm curious. I feel like this alien is going to an adventure, and I want to read it. Yeah. So that's that. But it's really nice. I like how you created the personality. No, it's really nice. I think it's really funny. Thanks for sharing.
Nice, thank you, Ira, for that. Jam, you can respond, naman. Like,
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cold, man. Anyway, so so next we have Isla.
Isla.
Hello. Sorry, ang bagal kasi nung net namin, tapos nagcha-choppy siya.
Sige.
Pero ayun, like they said, ayun na, gusto ko rin makabasa pa ng more. Tapos, it reminds me naman, hindi pala it reminds me, pero parang ang gusto ko rin siya makita in a video game na yung alien, nasa Earth siya, tapos he's trying to navigate the Earth. Tapos, I
Ay,
love
pwede.
how yung parang merong voice yung alien. Parang, di siya childlike innocence, pero may innocence na, kunwari, sabi niya, yung humans have a funny way of simplifying beautiful names into letters and numbers. Parang yung mga mundane observations na parang may innocence.
Mm.
Gusto ko yung voice na binigay mo sa kanya. Ayun na. Tapos ayun, I like it too.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Thank you, Isla. So next we have Vince.
Hey, Jam.
Hi, Vince.
Um, well, I guess I'll just say what I like about. I agree with Corinne that it sounds already like a beginning of a longer work. I don't know how
Mm.
long you can sustain it. Maybe it can be a short story, or maybe it can be a part of a novel. But it feels already like it is a good beginning. Like you already have enough to expand what where you want to go with where you want to go.
Mm.
I guess I'll just comment what I like about it. I like the economy, quote unquote, in the perspective of your persona. Kasi I think is very economical. Like on the one hand, it reveals the psychology of the persona, but at the same time, also building from the mere parang from the mere parang mounting of the persona's perspective. You're also building the literary universe. So I just find that it's clever. Parang you achieve two things by assuming the persona. It reveals the psychology, and it builds the literary universe at the same time.
Right, right.
Yun lang.
Okay. Like,
Thank you for sharing.
yeah, yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you for the comments.
All right, so my turn. Jumping on that lang din, parang gusto ko yung gusto ko yung world building, gusto ko yung science factoids that you can throw in since you
Uh-huh.
are a scientist. So si Jam nga pala is based in South Korea. So kung may papabili kayong makeup,
Kaya
Yeah,
medyo nahiya
bili,
ako na
bili
choppy
ng
yung
joke lang.
internet
facial
ko
wash.
dito.
choppy. Friend ko
Pag
yan, so yun.
pahingin
Anyway,
picture ni Ayu.
wow. So,
Joke lang.
picture ni Lisa. Joke. Anyway, so
Yung
yun,
next prompt natin, Blackpink na photo or
Oh,
why
Blackpink.
not?
ano,
A whole night
twice na.
dedicated to Blackpink. Okay. So, ayun, it's funny. Tapos, kung si Isla na-imagine is a video game, imagine siya as a cartoon series. Literally, Rick and Morty animation style. Yun lang. So, yun lang. All right. So
Yeah.
finally we have Louie. Yeah.
Hi, thanks for sharing. Ako
Yep.
na ang pinaka nagustuhan ko sa kanya, it starts off as if parang it's a formal report. I see it na.
Hello? Guys, narinig niya si Louie?
Wala
Oh.
siya.
Hindi masyado. No.
Oh, nawala siya, guys.
Nawala.
There.
Wabadabda.
Sorry, I think
Hello,
naputol ka kanina.
Louie?
Pero you can
Can
continue.
you hear
Sorry.
me na? Ayan. Okay na?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so yun nga parang kung nakikita nila 'di ba na they were saying na parang graphic novel and then Raffy said na parang cartoon type. Sa akin naman para siyang parang this aliens trying to file a formal report of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying really hard. He or she is trying hard to serious about it or formal pero he can't help himself talaga so yung humor. So, diba, even imagine something. So, series,
Medyo choppy.
It's choppy. Hello?
Nawawala ulit, sorry.
Wala.
ano ba? Hold on.
Hello?
Or
Hello?
hello.
Ayan. Hello?
Of course.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, akala ko ikaw
Is
si
Louie
sorry.
back?
Mali. No. Siguro she can
Wala.
sige. She can
Oh,
type
she said,
her. I'll just message her na lang.
yeah, just message
Hi,
her.
you
Type na
can
muna niya
leave
yung
your
reactions
feedback
niya if it's okay.
here na lang sa text channel.
Yeah, sayang eh.
So we can actually, well, since yung last commenter, we're gonna move on to our next reading. So let's see.
Sige, let her finish commenting muna para
Sige.
makareact naman si Jam.
Ayaw.
Hindi yata ako nakakapag-comment.
Sige, let's wait for her. Sige.
Yeah, sandali lang naman. Yeah.
Ba't nagle-level up?
Yata magko-comment pa.
Saan yun?
Pag nag-chat,
Sa bot
nagle-level
natin.
up.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, kung super engaging ka na tao, level up.
Yun. So, the more active you are in the server, the more you level up.
Sorry, Edge. After Louie,
Edge pa.
ikaw.
Ni... Ano?
Actually, sige.
Bye-bye.
Edge,
Joke lang.
pwede ka mag-comment dito while Louie is
Habang wala
typing.
yung kay Yaya Louie.
Yes. Sige.
Louie
Comment
pala.
ka muna.
Ayun. Parang ang una kong naano sa kanya, yung una kong napansin is yung the way he read it. Parang sobrang bagay yung boses niya dun sa boses ng character.
Sa job ba?
Parang hindi ko nga alam kung sadya siya or natural voice niya. It was nice to hear kasi the vocabularies he used. Tas another thing about the vocabulary is that it reminded me of this comic strips, yung Strange Planet by Nathan Pyle, if
Yeah,
you're
Strange
familiar with
Planet.
him.
Oo,
Aha,
Yun,
yeah.
aha.
yun.
Yung,
So parang
yeah, Nathan
nakakatuwa
P.
yung
White. Mm-mm.
nakakatuwa kasi parang medyo ano talaga siya. Medyo parang sci-fi yung dating niya.
Aha.
Uh, and lastly yung this line right here, it reminded me of Men in Black. I think this was inspired by Men in Black, tama ba?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually,
Ayan.
I plugged that in the last minute.
Yeah, yung better be more careful. I heard the guys in the dark suits. Parang naisip
Okay,
ko
yeah.
Men in Black. Nice. So, ayun. Sobrang natuwa ako kasi may reference sa Men in Black. Tapos, wala lang. It was a nice, parang, it, it's a fresh perspective eh. Parang perspective ng aliens sa Earth with Men in Black. Kasi di ba usually ang pinapanood natin is yung perspective ng Men in Black. So, wala lang. Natuwa ako sa kanya. Yan lang.
Nice.
Mm,
Alright.
yeah.
Thank you, Edge. So,
Yeah,
I'll
thank
read
you.
out yung kay Louie. Sabi niya, basta I like that the person started off na formal as if trying to file a daily report. And yet she can't help himself kaya pumapasok yung condescending humor. Ang ganda. Okay. Then we also have Gentle's feedback. It also gave me an impression that since 1100th day na niya sa Earth, naara na talaga niya yung language ng mga tao. Haha. So, thanks, Gentle, for providing feedback. All right, so we are uh, done, I think. So, thanks so much, Jam, for reading your work.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
Yes. So, yung tanong ko lang, before we move on, sadya mo ba yung voice? Or yun talaga yung voice mo?
I know. Hindi naman parang I can't read it like ano today will be I don't know. Parang siguro ano lang din it just came out.
Gets.
And also guys, I just want to, elaborate dun sa lines ng yung colors. I don't know kung na-pick up nyo yun na, kasi I wanted his character to see in temperature colors. So medyo may fluctuation siya. So kaya winter blues and purples and then reds and yellows sa warm places. Yun lang. Yun lang yung mga naisip ko, like what would an alien organism be like na instead of light ang nakikita niya thermal vision, 'di ba?
Thermal,
Parang
infrared.
Predator.
ganun.
Okay. Right.
Alien
Well,
versus Predator. Sige.
yeah.
Yes.
So once again, thanks so much, Jam, for reading.
Yep.
So now we're gonna jump to our next reader, Corin. Corin is a finance writer by day and a vampire by night. She loves poetry, film, cats, and wine. She can't wait to come out, but she'll stay home to keep everyone safe from COVID. So ito din yung bio mo last time. So
Yes.
whenever you're
Recited.
ready, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I really don't know what I came up with. It's probably a dramatic monologue of sorts. I don't think it's poetry, but it's a draft. So here it goes. Dear human, as much as I enjoy watching from afar, I finally decided to have contact with you, of all people. I don't blame you for invalidating me. It must be frightening to think greater beings exist and undermine you. You are right to think that you are small, that the universe is so vast, violent, indifferent. You cannot possibly be that important. Here's the problem with a small world, trapped in a shackled mind. You cannot escape yourself. I'm here to remind you there are far more valuable things beyond yourself. We've watched your kind grow for centuries, and though we cannot deny you've made such progress, you've equally devolved in your principles and values. You know where I'm going with this. Your excuse has always been, it's my own design, it's my own remorse. What is the value of self-preservation when you're the king of your own ruin? Don't bother asking us for help when you colonize other planets. Your world has less than 100 years to survive. I will tell you now. You cannot stop the apocalypse from happening. It's mediocre to merely survive. I am asking what you live for, other than yourself, whom you hardly love. Get out of your head. Step outside and look around. This is all you have. So there it is.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing, Corin. So,
Parang
Thanks.
natakot ako.
ako
Oh,
din,
Sorry ah.
parang,
Sorry
teka lang.
guys.
grabe.
Hindi ko din ano.
Ba't laging ang bigat, Corin?
Sorry.
Ba't ang
Hindi
bigat
ko rin.
lagi? Anyway,
I'm
so
sorry.
we can start the roundtable. So, Corin, we'll start with Ira. Like, just repost.
Okay. Thanks, Car. It's really nice. And yeah, it got dark at the end. But there are some really nice lines that I like trapped in a shackled mind, you cannot escape yourself. And I also like this one. I'm asking what to live for other than yourself, whom you hardly love. It's really nice. And actually, it could be it's some kind of a prose, right?
Yeah, I think so. Parang, yeah. I
One
really
like,
agree. Sige.
but it
Pros.
made me feel afraid. Oh, yeah, it made me feel afraid. But it's really great. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, Ira. Next, we have Isla.
Ang ganda. Tapos, I love na parang nananakot siya. Pero sa dulo, parang in a way, minomotivate ka din
Nananakot
niya na,
talaga, sir.
girl, may gawin ka namang maayos sa buhay mo. And think beyond what you see and think beyond your own needs. Ganun. Parang magkasama yung tinatakot niya and yung minomotivate niya yung tao. And it's a very scary reality check. Totoo naman yung mga sinasabi ni Alien. Ayun, ang ganda.
All right, thank you, Isla. Once again, Corin, you can react kahit konti.
Thank you.
Sige, joke lang. Kasi parang,
Wala naman reaction.
okay. No, thank you. So next we have Vince. Okay.
I really like it. Um, I also have a favorite line there. I think Ira already mentioned it. Here's the problem with a small world trapped in a shackled mind. You cannot escape yourself. I'm here to remind you there are far more valuable things beyond yourself. I know it's a draft, but it's so rich already, and I think you can. I guess you can. I know that the alien perspective is like a springboard to create
Yeah.
something. So I think you can experiment with the direction of where you can bring it. Parang
Yeah.
when you were reading it, I had a sudden it gave me an idea, especially when you said you cannot possibly where's that? After that line where you said, I'm here to remind you that there are far more valuable things beyond yourself. I suddenly thought, I don't know if you want to consider it, I
Mhm.
suddenly thought of a catalog of things that are larger than yourself.
Mhm.
You might want to include that. Like, I don't know, like talk about images that are so grand, like the
Yeah.
buildings.
Mhm.
Parang it's
Yeah.
you ground it in you know er, um, in human things. It doesn't have to be like from the perspective of the alien, but I just like that it's so rich already being a draft. Yun, I like it. I like it.
Oh, thank you for that direction. Parang I was yun nga, if ever I do want to explore it further, I will definitely think of that yung imagery nga no, hindi masyado na-explore and sobrang ang daming pwedeng ipasok. Thank you for the
Yeah.
suggestion. Sige. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that, Vince. That's great. So my turn. So I guess para sa akin, I can only view it sa filter ko, which is script writing, right? I try to be a script writer. So for me, parang each line is very dense. If it were a line of parang siyang scary na monologue, and there's a lot of terms for it, pero in the script role, we call those like loaded lines or hardworking lines that mean two or three things, not just one thing. Para siyang, in-imagine ko para siyang Thanos type or a villain greater than Thanos. Tapos para siyang goodbye letter, parang goodbye, papasabugin ko na kayong, you know, I'm gonna end the human beings as a species. So parang ganun. So I like it since it's there are heavy lines and ayun nga, pinost na ni Gentle, this is a favorite ko. So that's all from me.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So now we're gonna have oh, since Gentle isn't alright, joke lang. You can, if you want, Gentle, you can comment for 2 minutes.
No, sorry. Napindot ko lang.
Sige.
Napindot ko lang. I'm sorry.
It's, okay. So okay, let's move on to Louie. So
Ayan. So, although mabigat siya, I really like it. And kung naririnig ni Raffy si Thanos, ako naman ang naririnig ko yung boses ni Morgan Freeman sa Shawshank
oh
Redemption.
my God, voice of God.
Yung line na parang you have 100 years na lang. If it was another time, parang kung iisipin mo, ang haba pa niyang panahon. But because we are where we are in terms of state ng mundo natin, parang, and naglagay ka ng definite na number, it makes it more scary. Parang, it's only 100 years left and mawawala na yung Earth. Parang gano'n. Ayun. Although mabigat
I
siya,
don't
ang ganda
like
niya.
it.
And it reminds me of parang, di ba sinasabi nila yung hierarchy of needs ni Maslow, ang number one na ngayon doon is yung empathy. Kapag nalagpasan mo na lahat pag na-fulfill mo na lahat ng needs na yon, ang nasa top na ay yung empathy. So parang, and we need it badly right now. So, thank you. Ang ganda
Wow,
niya.
here. Nice. Thank you, Louie.
Hey, thank you. Hindi ko alam na bago na pala yung nasa taas ng pyramid. Empathy na pala. Sige.
Parang ginagamit yata yun sa mga teachers kapag nagtuturo sa like younger kids for parang development ng values. Nakwento lang ng friend ko na teacher.
Thank you sa trivia. Yan.
Nice.
Salamat.
Okay, so who do we have? Okay, next is Edge.
Ay, sorry. Akala ko tapos na yung bigayan ng ano. Binabasa ko yun kay Raffy.
Ay, nako, joke lang.
Well, parang yun nga, nung una natakot ako, parang, oh shit, everything written here is true. Parang nabigatan ako, tapos sabi ko, OMG. Parang sobrang galing nung wordings. Sa sobrang galing, hindi ko alam kung ano yung sasabihin ko. Medyo na-speechless ako, sa totoo lang. Ayun. Tapos, yung dulo, tama yung sinabi rin ng iba na parang sa dulo, it's kind of parang in a way na inaano kanya, ina-urge kanya to do better. Parang, in a way, it's, the letter is, parang, kabaliktaran ng comfort. Parang sa simula hindi siya comforting, tapos sa dulo comforting siya. Parang, uy, may nag-aalala. Ganito. Parang ganun yung dating niya sa akin. Parang the alien was like the parents we aspire to be. Parang ganun. Yun lang.
Wow,
Oh,
parents
nice.
talaga.
Thank you, Edge. So parang,
Thank you.
Yun yung naisip ko.
parang sa Halo universe, sa mga Xbox people, parang may
Ayun,
mga,
ganun.
may mga forerunner, may mga species na nag-aalaga sa atin. Anyway, so, thank you. So, finally we have Jam.
All right. Very, very nice piece, Corin. It actually reminded, I don't know kung familiar kayo sa, yung movie ni James Cameron, this is an old movie na, The
Avatar?
Abyss.
Oh, wait, no.
The Abyss. As in, like, 80s, late, early 90s siya. So, it's
Hindi pa ako pinapanangan. Joke lang.
group of scientists na nakadiscover sila ng underwater vessel na it turned out to be alien pala. And then it turned out na all these aliens have been living underneath in the ocean floor, and they're the ones causing the catastrophes like mga tsunami, earthquakes, because they've been observing the humans and they didn't like how we've been living.
Wow. Kailangan panoorin ko
So
yan.
please watch it. Sobrang ganda. At early that was also one of the movies na kasi groundbreaking lagi yung movies ni James Cameron. So that was also one of the movies na feature yung computer graphics, yung mga bago pa lang like ano. So interesting movie siya. One of my favorites actually. So yun, so it reminded me of that kasi parang they tried to negotiate with the aliens na please stop it kasi so I think what I can suggest for this piece is I like the direction it's I like how you set it up. So maybe it can be an exchange of letters between aliens and humans. Like I would like want the human to reply and then like say na please give us a chance, yung mga ganon, yung because we're capable of kasi for me on its own it's a little depressing. So
Yeah, ang bigat, no? Oo.
right,
Yeah.
right. So you can like balance it with like give the humans a voice, like but we're capable of love, all these things. We can create art and blah blah blah. We've been not all of us are bad, yung mga ganon.
Yeah.
So I can suggest like if you're going to work on this uh piece, you can make it an exchange of letters between human and
So,
alien. That would be
epistolary
it.
siya. Oo.
Oh,
Pwede. Wow, parang
Wow,
malaking
that's
project yun, ah.
parang binigyan ng trabaho.
Binigyan ako ng trabaho. Sorry.
Well, that's actually very
Yeah,
interesting.
ang ganda. Thank you,
Parang
guys.
Dracula
Super
yung episode.
enriching ng comments. Wow, this is, yeah, super, never thought I would be productive today. Thank you.
Amazing. So thanks guys
Salamat.
then for your comments and
Mm-mm.
participating. That ends our joke now. Next we have Ira. So for Ira's bio, Ira lives in Switzerland and completed her MA in creative writing in UP. So yep, Ira, whenever you're ready.
Okay, hi guys.
Hi.
Okay, first of all, I want to say I'm extremely hangover, so maybe I don't make sense. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. So the prompt that I used is the place that I've never been to. So I plan to go to Lagos in Portugal this October, but then Corona happened and stuff like that. So the idea behind this poem is I was in Brazil last summer for 2 months, and we learned to speak Portuguese. And in Portugal, they also speak Portuguese. And kind of like the Bahia region kind of looks like the south of Portugal as well. So yeah, so it's like I was never in that place, and I plan to go to that place because I was on this other place. You understand? Okay, sorry.
Mm.
Sorry, guys. Okay, but I'll read it now.
Okay.
Okay, so Lagos. Miles long, golden area, soaring precipice, embracing cold waves, teal green. Do you recall speaking bom dias? It was in Arraial de Ajuda, where we drank caipirinha. Empty beaches feel all the same. Meu nome é, adios meu amor. That's it.
Translation.
Yeah, so Araya is land. Bumjia is good morning, and meu nome, my name is, adios meu amor, it's goodbye. Also, I wanted to explore the concept of, when you start to learn a new language, you normally just speak the basic things like, yeah, good morning, my name is, goodbye.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I was in Brazil and I thought I could continue my Portuguese in Portugal. And actually, there's the same language, but they sound very different. So I wanted to write something in the poem too about languages sounding different, but they're the same after all. But it didn't happen because of the time limit. So it was like that. And the beach in Lag, I don't know if you know this feeling too, but at some point when you've seen enough ocean or whatever, they just start to look the same. I don't know, something like that. So it could be anywhere, but just starts to look the same. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
nice.
I really hope I make sense. So sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
You
It's
did
okay.
great. Thank you, Ira. Okay, so let's open the floor, starting with Isla. So beach, now Isla. Okay.
Hello. Ayun. I want to go to the beach because of this. And add ko lang din dun sa about learning a new language. Napansin ko din kasi last year I nag-basic course kami sa Italian tapos napansin ko din na kapag nag-aaral ka nga ng new language, you use it with languages you know. Like, in a sense, kinari dito, speaking Bom Diaz, yung pinagsasama mo yung English and the new language that you're learning.
Also
Napansin ko lang
picking
siya, tas I
Bolivia.
love how you used it here. And it made me wanna go to the beach. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Isla. So now, next we have Vince.
Oh, okay. Am I
Hello?
still here? I think I
Yes.
lost you guys
Yep,
for a bit.
we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. My first impression was that it sounds really nice. I don't know the language, but it sounds really nice. And then when you started talking about the short background that served as the impetus of the poem, um, I just thought suddenly of the theme of fragmentation. I mean, it's already short. The poem is like a fragment in itself, but I like how the fragmentation is also evident in the language. It's English and then another language, and then the other language is also fragments of what you would hear as a visitor, as a tourist, I guess. And then I mean, in terms of the I guess the substance of the poem, like the beaches, that's really what struck me the most. And I don't know if I'm forcing that idea of fragments, but I feel like in a way the poem was successful in carrying or bearing the theme of fragment, because even in it's like all the other beaches which are not about by this poem is somewhat present by the fragment of the beach that it sees. He says, empty beaches feel all the same. Is that drawing from where you are? I don't know if that makes sense. It's like the fragment of your experience here sheds light to other beaches that we don't see in the poem. So it's like it's metonymical. Like a part of it is only present. I don't know if I'm forcing that, but I like the fragmentation that the poem carries in different aspects.
Oh, thank you very much, Vince. That's so nice. Thank you.
Thanks for. Oh, yep.
I think the idea of fragmentation, yeah, it's true that it's there because in my state like now, I was trying to recall everything, like in the travel, the plans. So it's kind of, yeah, it is fragmented in my brain. Sorry, but yeah, it's true. Hey, thank you. It's so nice. Hello,
Hello?
guys.
Hello. Okay.
Sunod
Sorry,
na.
that's me. Delay. Okay, so
Delay.
thanks for that, Vince and Ira, for responding. So, it's my turn. So so I don't know anything about poetry, but I like it. It's nice. Same thing with Isla. It brought me to the beach. I love the first part, miles long, golden, area, soaring precipice. Then you have this break, embracing cold waves, teal green. So I really like that part because para kang, if it were like a movie, it's like a cut too, right? Or in your impression sa akin, it's like, you're at the beach. And with the first part, it's a like a bird's eye view, and then embracing cold waves, you're in the water, and it's nice. It's because you can now feel it, something like that. So I'm not sure if that's anyway. I'm just gonna talk nonsense. May 1 minute pa naman ata ako, but I like it, and same feeling that as soon as my vaccine, um, I would want to go out and experience this again. Um, Anecdote lang. Uh, I like the caipirinha part. So for people who don't know, it's like a Brazilian drink. Uh, that's kind of fruity, I think. So okay siya. And if this were like a story, I feel that it's about someone meeting someone on this specific beach, and then kasi there's a mio nome e adios mi amor. Is that goodbye my love?
Sounds Spanish, no?
Something
But
like that.
it's
Okay. So yeah, so it's like meeting a stranger then saying goodbye. So parang ganun yung kwento niya sa akin. So that's it.
thanks for the comment. Yeah, caipirinha is it has cachaça, like a really cheap, I don't know, some kind of strong alcohol.
Okay.
Cachaça.
Right.
And
Here,
yeah, extremely strong drink.
I see. Here we call it gin bilog. It's 10 pesos and
MP.
10
Sikat
pesos.
yun, umabot na yun sa Vagabond, Korea.
Yung cachaça.
Yeah, mukbang. Okay. All right, thank you. So next we have Louie.
Hi, Ira. Yeah. I really like your poem. Although it's short.
I don't hear
Um,
anything from Louie.
Oh
oh,
no.
You
but
hear?
can you?
We can hear her.
We can hear her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, hindi rin
Oh
siya marinig ni
no.
Vince.
Parang
Pero
muffled.
naririnig ko siya.
Baka may problema yung connection niya, no?
Hello.
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 Is
Okay.
this better?
Yep.
Ayan, Ira.
Hello?
Yeah, I really
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, I really like your poem. Similar to what Jam said, diba, yung something about fragmentation. Although the poem is short, I feel na by not revealing everything to us, the reader, it speaks more. Parang because very very few lang yung parang pinasilip mo lang kami to the poem. It makes me want to know more kung parang is there something more from this poem. And also yung form niya, the way it's written, it echoes yung the attempt of a person trying to learn a new language kasi it's ano lang, small phrases, short phrases lang. And then yung last line na empty beaches start ano, where is it? Ako baka ma-misquote ako. Ayan. Empty beaches feel all the same. Ayun nga, parang because of that line, yung unang part is just parang an observation or parang trying to express yung longing or yung want to be there in that place. But yung last line, yung empty beaches feel all the same. Because of that last line, biglang nagkaroon ng another layer yung poem. So I really like it. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks for the comment.
All right. Thank you, Louie, for your
You're
comments.
welcome.
Sorry, tama ba, Louie?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. So next we have Edge.
Ay, tinatype ko kasi nagre-reply ako kay Ben, kay Gentle. So, parang, ayun, yung sinabi ni Ben na it's also like a memory of a lover who speaks another language and they had a moment at the beach before they parted ways. Parang ganun din yung pumasok sa isip ko. Parang it's a sense of longing for someone that she used to know. Tapos, she's remembering the time they had in Brazil nung nasa Lagos na sila. Kasi I think Lagos is in Africa.
No, it's in
So,
Portugal.
Portugal.
Portugal. May Lagos din yata sa Africa. So, parang yun yung pumasok sa isip ko. Parang akala ko, kasi ano eh, parang place you've never been to. So, nasa isip ko, nasa Africa siya, may beach. Tapos, um, parang naalala niya yung times that she spent in Brazil or Portugal. So, parang longing yung pumasok sa isip ko. And it's just really beautiful yung last line na, my name is, kasi she was remembering the time when they first met. Tapos, goodbye, my love. Parang she was ready to say goodbye. Parang ganun. Yun yung ano ko. Yun lang. So, parang sobrang ano niya, nostalgia yung feels niya. Yun. Yun lang.
All right. Thank you, Edge. Okay. Next we have Jam.
Hi. So yeah, I like the poem. Um, more than actually not just the content, but actually how it was delivered and yung rhythm niya. Like nagustuhan ko yung first lines na ayun, so you're slowly introducing foreign words like miles long golden array, then soaring precipice. Tapos as you go further down, you can see yung mga more foreign words, and then like you ended it with a full line of foreign terms. So sexy lang niya. I like it. I like how it was constructed, how it sounded also. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for
Thank
that,
you so
Jam.
much. You called my poem.
Yes. Sexy. Wow.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Jam. So, okay. So next we have Corin.
Yes. Oh, wow. So, yun din. I like how this sounds, how it rolls off the tongue. And I love how you read it with the pronunciation of how the language should sound. Because if somebody else read it and didn't know how to pronounce it, the entire mood would be different. So, kasama yun sa performance. So, it's interesting na mention yung nostalgia. And then this is like Lagos is in like Portugal. Yun. It's a Portuguese country. And I remember this concept of saudades. I don't know how to pronounce it.
So
Yeah.
that
It's like a longing for a place that does not exist. That's how they translate it, at least. But it doesn't have an equivalent translation in English. And the concept, parang nandito siya. And it doesn't
So dads.
explicitly say anything or reveal anything. Parang pinasilip ka nga lang talaga niya. It gives you fragments. But it's so charged. Every line is charged. And the poem is powerful in its fragmentation, as if, like yun nga, the parts of your brain that you use to recall memories and the parts of your brain to recall language or to create language, parang nag ano siya dito siya, I guess this is where it tried to manifest itself, yung consciousness nung persona while struggling with that memory and of the language na may comment dito, maybe it's the language the persona learned from her lover, parang ganon. I, parang it's very rare for me to read a poem na maikli, pero it really hits you hard. So, yun din. I can't really write very short poems, but this is one of those short poems na, for me, okay na. Parang pag dinagdagan mo siya, baka over na. And napansin ko, so the line before that, empty beaches feel all the same. May period siya. Pero pagdating dun sa last two lines, Yung ano yun, meo nome e adios mio more. Nagpapaalam siya pero walang period. So for when in poetry, when your even punctuation means something, and the lack of punctuation and everything lines, they mean something. So this is like open-ended siya. It doesn't even use an ellipsis. Basta hindi niya tinapos, walang period, pero nagpaalam siya. Yun. So that's how it strikes me. It's sad, but at the same time, there's it proposes this idea that nothing is definitive. Yeah. So thank you for that, Ira.
And thank you, Cor. That was beautiful. Everything you
Lovely
said.
poem.
Oh, that was nice. Thank you for the insight, Corin. Yeah.
I just want to say something about this. So Dutch. Actually, it's very nice because yeah, you cannot translate it to English, but it's kind of going the direction of I'm missing you. And sometimes in Brazil, when they text, like for example, I will text you, hi Corin, da 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 da, and then at the end I sign off with so Dutch.
So Dutch. That's how it's
Yeah,
pronounced. So Dutch.
yeah, and then when I
So
found
Dutch.
out the meaning, so beautiful. The
It's
meaning.
beautiful. Yes, I love it.
I miss
Oy, punta tayo Portugal or ng Brazil, sama ako.
do that. No, I
Pag-peace
should
One
have.
affair
day,
sa,
party
Cebu
tayo
pa.
doon, Aira ha. Sama mo ako.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
All right. All right.
So
Thank you,
that.
guys.
Thank you.
So we have our next performer is Isla. So Isla is a theater arts student and a writing enthusiast. Disclaimer: not very good at it. End disclaimer. She loves, but she loves
How
reading
many
and writing.
disclaimers?
Sorry, nabasa ko siya. Naka-parenthesis. She loves reading and writing poems and songs as well as researching. She's happy to be here and to spend time with people of the same passions and interests. Heart emoji. So whenever you're ready, Isla, go ahead.
Hi everyone. Sorry sa
Hello.
pa-disclaimer ko. Okay, so I chose the prompt
Go
na
kanal!
Go Kanal. I chose the third prompt, yung sa alien. Perspective of an alien na Earth. And eto, medyo poetry siya, pero di rin ako sure kung ano to. Ayan, I'll start.
Okay.
Strange. How bizarre is it for someone like me, labeled an alien, to find something strange? Yet in the distance of my ringed planet, I see the resplendence of the swirling of white against the blue, greens, and browns, almost as if it was what the humans called in their books paradise. They too were beautiful, with skin found in rich colors of brown, black, and white. They could swim in the clearest waters and nourish themselves with its minerals, witness the towering mountains and the highest cliffs. Far from my sickly pale and yellow scales, reminiscent of my neighbor Jupiter, and the ice and rock beneath my webbed feet, and gas I breathe in each night, alone. I am still alone, gazing at this small, unassuming earth, now blooming with the rarest flowers, teeming with many-hued creatures flying and crawling and swimming in the seas. Almost as if I never gazed upon this earth too, in its squalor, like a carious tooth that has fallen out, stinking. As the humans thought it could give them everything, so they took,
Curious.
and took, and their clearest waters became muddy, mountains balded, their animals decayed, because the humans had everything they needed, except the knowledge when to halt their feet. Until there was nothing, and the earth, wounded, stood with its wrath, until they too became nothing. Ayun
Wow.
lang po.
Thank you, Isla. That's great. All right. So let us open the floor. So we'll start with Vince.
Okay. I'm still processing the poem,
Yeah,
but
take your time.
um, siguro I'll just give my immediate reaction. I like it, especially the tone. Parang I don't know, it sounds like a monologue. But there are also points of, I think, like lyrical moments. Um, I guess if you want to work on it more, I don't know, maybe it's just me being OC, like the line breaks. Um, parang, I don't know if you want to keep it as is, but for the some of the long lines, parang I think would create more, gravitas. It would have more gravitas if it's cut in in a certain way. Um, like the third line. Yet in the distance of my ring planet, I see that cut the resplendence of the swirling of white. Like yung mga ganon, like just to make
Yeah.
it tighter. Like especially I feel like enjambment would work here kasi ang dami mong long lines and very rich. So it would be a nice point of occupation when you revise to decide where to cut so that your line is more parang tighter in its own. Sometimes kasi yung long lines I feel it's just me, my preference lang kasi is when it's long, parang there's so many things to take in. But of course if that's what you wanted, then that's also fine. But if you want to like revise it, I guess that's what I would say that you can work on, like where to cut the lines so that the lines carry more gravitas, and then the enjambment also works so that parang the reader is encouraged or teased to read the next line. You know what I mean. I guess I
Yes,
have to
yes.
process the poem pa more, pero that's my immediate reaction.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Vince. Okay, so all right, so next. Oh, sorry. Next is me. So okay. Um, wait, I'm also still processing. So I think parang um it came to me as a scene ulit. I think it's a beautiful scene. So you have this gas breathing monster with webbed feet, and yung description niya, sickly pale and yellow. So parang it feels like this is an older creature of its species, and alone, still alone, and ice and rock beneath my webbed feet. So you have this seemingly kind of lonely creature on Jupiter, and medyo nakakatakot siya. So imagine nyo, yun na muna yung scene, and then pag nagsalita siya, you find that its voice is very gentle. Tapos yung sentiment niya is not the thoughts of a monster, but the thoughts of a sentimental creature who seems more human than us, than the humans. It's parang naiiyak siya na sinisira natin yung planeta natin. Parang yun yung thing. So if this were, ayun nga, if this were like a monologue, parang pure joker siya for me. So yeah, that's it. That's all from me.
Thank you.
Yeah. So okay, we have Louie next.
Hi. Um,
Hi.
I like, yeah, I like na na it started off na describe how beautiful the earth is, and then the second part is yung how the earth came into its destruction, 'di ba? Um, I'm not sure if yun yung boses na gusto mong lumabas, but although hindi sinasadya nung boses nung tula or ng monologue, parang siya, parang uh, without too much effort nagiging dramatic siya kasi the way you structured it, na parang it's a testimonial na it's parang it's written at a point in time na wala na yung Earth. So parang wala nang magagawa, wala nang anything, wala na, dissolve na yung Earth. So even nilalahad niya lang ng factual how it happened, may certain siya, sadness na kaakibat because yun nga yung structure niya is andun, naisulat siya at a time na wala na yung planet.
Oh.
Maganda siya. But also, I would like to echo yung suggestion ni was it Vince kanina na yun nga, yung I guess yung sa cutting lang ng lines. Unless gusto mo talaga na parang may medyo bugbog na ang daming nangyayari. Parang I guess preference.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louie. Great. So, next we have Edge. Gusto lang sabihin yung name mo, Edge. Okay.
Ay, hello. Hi. So, parang kung ano yung sinabi ni Raffy, yung parang actually nakalimutan ko kasi may kausap ako sa Messenger. Anyway, parang yung si Raffy ba yung nagsabi mo? Parang yung sa simula ang ganda nung pagkaka-describe ng Earth. Wait. Hindi, nung pagkaka-describe nung creature, yun, nung alien. Tapos, yung sinabi ko dito sa chat na parang natatawa ako kasi parang everything related to the alien prompt, parang it seems na pare-parehas yung view natin ng mga tao dito sa how the people here perceive Earth ngayon. Kumbaga kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa mundo. Parang political, environmental. Yung political kanina yung sa White House. Tapos yung kay Miss Corin is yung parang environmental din. Parang, which is almost the same nung sayo. So parang na-capture nila yung both nung works ni Corin tsaka nung work mo pala. Na yung how we should cherish na yung environment natin as much as possible. So parang it gives this parang it's sort of a warning na na kailangan nating pansinin talaga. Yun yung nakikita ko dun sa poem mo. Tapos, parang kaya nire-relate ko lang kasi nga parang
Reality check,
nakakatawa kasi
aliens.
aware yung mga tao dito. So, ayun lang.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Edge. Next we have Jam.
Hello?
Hello.
Ayun. So, yeah, I'm trying to read. I'm reading the poem and again. I just want to ask, ano yung effect ng alone dito? Like, is this something that you want to build on, or ewan ko lang. Like, sad ba siya dahil or she is like, or it is the last of its kind, and ayun. Anyway, yeah. So yeah. It would be nice also to build on the fact na alone siya. Like, well, but I guess the overall message here is, like, don't pollute and save the earth, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ayun, so yeah, I like the words used, especially sa start, yung how you describe the scene, you built the scene perfectly. Ayun, and then I don't know where, kasi dito ako na medyo na lost dito sa alone eh. Tapos biglang the earth, tas nalulungkot na siya dahil yung earth ay ano. So it would be nice if there's something like mas naging substantiated yung pagiging, why this thing is alone or something. I don't know. Yung ano ko.
Thank you.
Medyo na ano lang ako dito sa alone part.
Wait. what I meant siguro is, ang tagal na niya doon and na-witness na niya yung
Ah,
Earth sa lahat ng stages ng Earth. In a sense,
uh-huh.
ganun. Mm.
I see, I see.
Thank you, thank you.
Yep, yep.
All right. Thanks so much, Jam. Okay, next we have Corin.
Yes. So for this poem, um maybe, well, I like the idea na yun nga, for you yung konsepto mo is parang encompassing na nandun ka na sa point where ruin na talaga, 'di ba? This is the point where destroyed na yung earth, and this is like a monologue from an alien looking over it. And then, so I guess the first part is parang, since the alien witnessed human life on the planet before it was destroyed. So may catalog siya doon. May description, 'di ba? So ang impression ko dito is like, while you were describing how beautiful it was, paradise siya. And then until to the point na tapos it goes back and forth. Kinumpare mo siya sa Jupiter to the present, which is dun sa point when the earth is no longer green and blue. So if you're comparing it to the sickly pale and yellow scales of Jupiter, so sira na, as in like the earth has already died. Yun yung imagery na nakikita ko. So I guess what I can, ano ba? I think what I'm looking for with the work is siguro the descriptions are actually very vivid. So nakikita ko siya. But maybe because magkakadikit siya, or mahahaba yung linya, or maraming descriptions in between, nahihirapan akong isegment siya, or parang hirap i-process na is this the part where the alien is recalling how the earth used to look, or is this the part where it's describing how it already looks now that it's destroyed. May ganun akong reading. So tapos dun sa reading ni Sir Jam where he said alone, I am still alone, tapos medyo pagdating doon, gazing at this small unassuming earth, tapos biglang now blooming with rarest flowers. So there's this attempt at trying to describe na despite the ruin, there's still flora in the planet. Wala nang tao. I guess wala nang humans that destroy the planet. Pero there's this, siguro you were trying to like put a seed of hope. Maybe the planet could still survive. Yun nga lang, bereft of humans. Pero,
Wala na sila.
yun. Pero sabi ng alien dito, I'm still alone. So, wala ng tao, pero there are many huge creatures flying and crawling, swimming in the seas. So, may nabuhay na creatures, may mammals. So, that gives me the impression na, okay, so, meron pang natirang life sa Earth. Yun. But the
Humans lang talaga.
humans lang so, parang pinatay mo talaga yung mga tao, no? Kasi walang
Oh.
kwenta. Joke lang. Yun. Yeah, I like the idea where that went. Pero, yun nga, maybe the formatting, siguro, try to use, segment them using verses.
Yeah.
Maybe try to cut them, use 4 or 5 lines, shorten your lines, ganun. Para, pagka may space yung nagbabasa, para makikita niya, okay, nandito na siya sa part na to. Dinedescribe na niya na meron pa palang life on Earth, pero patay na yung humans. Yun. Kasi pag tuloy-tuloy lang siya, medyo mahirap siya basahin. Yun.
Tama.
So, yun.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks for that, Corin. Okay, so next we have Aira for our last commenter.
Hi. Yeah. So I have to say I agree with the Vince and Corinne, and I think another person said the same about the line breaks. Like in the first part of the poem, it was really long lines, and you know, yeah, it's just when you make. I mean, everybody knows this. Sorry, like when you cut the lines, it's for the sound to work, and the first part, yeah, it's quite a lot of. Yeah, it's too long. But for example, in the last part, then it was a little better because it was shorter. And I also, yeah, I like this part. So they took, and their clearest waters became muddy. Suddenly, it sounded better. Pero medyo na-confused din ako sa umpisa. Like, first it was a beautiful earth, and then the alien was alone. But now you explain that it's because the alien was watching all this time. And then tapos biglang like yung downfall ng Earth, right?
Yes.
So it's a lot of images. But yeah, maybe just to reorganize some of the images and the
Line
line
breaks.
breaks, and also siguro yung yung persona talking, like there should be some kind of clarity, like how does the like of obviously the alien is not happy about Earth, right?
Yeah.
But kind of muddled or something. So, but it's interesting because like the poems that were, I mean, things that were read today is all about like aliens not being happy. Like parang, yeah, and I was thinking,
Yeah.
maybe it's to write a poem where the alien is parang amazed by Earth. No, we're doing something right. I don't know, just the shit. Wala lang. Yeah. Yeah,
Kailan kaya?
that's about.
Will
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happen, Ira? I wish.
Parang ang hirap kasi
Very
writers are
true.
supposed to write the truth and it's hard to fake na humans are doing well. Joke.
Pero I'm sure the aliens also
Yeah,
do good
but
things naman. Diba?
yeah,
Meron din.
like the things that make us human, for example. You know how we miss each other sometimes. Maybe the aliens they don't have empathy or something. I don't know. Just to switch whatever.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So, thank you for sharing your thoughts, Ara. So I think we've come full circle. We're gonna go on to our next reader, who is Vince. So Vince Agawili was born in Quezon City and raised in Antipolo City, Philippines. His short stories and poetry have appeared in Roadmap series, The Boson, and Novice magazine. He teaches literature in the University of Asia and the Pacific. So yep, Vince, take over. Yeah.
Na-access niyo ba yung file?
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'll send it na lang again.
Okay.
I think kasi I sent a Google Doc, but it can't
Uh,
be accessed. And then there's a photo, but I think nadaganan
ayaw
na
nga
siya
pala.
ng other.
Ah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
here.
Sorry.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Thank
Ayan,
you.
okay na siya.
Okay. I guess I'll just read it. Maybe I can talk about a little bit of the process later, but just read it na lang. Possession. I believe in exorcism. There are souls whose object of desire is touch. In Orange County, a body whose hands had tilled the earth becomes a madman. The cause of casualty is cancer. What is the soil, said he, but a body of vegetation? Memories are so absurd. I remember my grandfather. He's old. That he grew a flower between his palms. Perhaps all the forms of possessions are sui generis. There are some bodies whose strongest hunger is of the soul.
Okay. Thank you so much for reading that, Vince. You mentioned you want to do your intro after. So go ahead if you have something else to say about possession.
Okay. Well, I used the prompt yung sa place. I hear an echo
Yeah,
for some
parang may
reason.
narinig din ako kanina. I think it's jam kanina. Pero okay lang na intindihan
Okay.
naman yung poem. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to I just wanted to use a like one so that it's easy it's easy kasi medyo challenging yung prompts. So I just stick with the place. Is Orange County. Well, I was trying to draw a little bit say from like it's not so recent, but I learned that my grandfather, who's in the states, um, has cancer, and I've been trying to process that. So, parang, I associate him kasi with with like the earth for some reason kasi he he was living in the province before, and before he got himself educated and stuff. Like he was just like trying to survive with by planting and selling what he has. So yun, it just became a resource. I was using a lot of like earth, soil, and so on. I don't know. It's quite maybe masyado siyang malapit, but I also tried to like the concept of like possession. Like um, I really don't like explaining it. Pero in the first part, like bodies are possessed, but maybe um, some not all possessions of body. It can be also body wanting to possess a soul. I'll stop there. I guess. I'll
No,
stop
thank
there.
you.
And then it's too close kasi, but yeah.
Okay. So actually, and of course, thank you for that. The reason why I asked then, because I'm the one who is supposedly the commenter, but it's hard because even though the lines are quote unquote simple, they're not. They're dense, and they're also loaded like with Corin's lines. They're not that easy to process. So I actually let yung parang favorite line go. Or lines. Memories are so absurd. I remember my grandfather that he's old. And gusto ko din yung read the way you read it. The slow pace, it really helps. Kasi these are, um, yeah, they feel like heavy lines, pero probably I have to read it again to process it. So, hmm, yeah. So now that since you mentioned that possession not just by a ghost, there you can also be possessed by a passion, right? Or some bodies whose strongest hunger is of the soul. Yeah. Okay. But I actually have nothing to say. Sorry, but I like
Yeah,
it
no, just
and I
like
need to process it. So I'm
yeah.
good.
I mean, like I guess I just wanted to open that bit, because when we think of possession, it's usually like like in the sense of exorcism, like a soul possessing a body, but
Yeah.
there are different kinds of possession. Like
Yeah.
you can be possessed by, yeah, like it can be reversed. Like maybe like a body wants to possess a soul. You want to be like this. You have want to have the soul of somebody, or like you're possessed by memories and so on. Because
Yeah.
I just wanted to. It's a little bit close because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
It's okay. Thank you for that, Vince. So, okay, well, guess let's move on to our next commenter. We have Louie.
Hi, Vince. I really love your poem. It's a very emotional poem, and it rings very close to my heart because um, I'm very close with my grandfather also, and um, the way you wrote it, parang it just brought back so many memories of how we were very close when he was still alive. Yung meaning ng possession, na yung a greater force parang occupying this body. Uh, Paano ba? It's very emotional for me because it reminds me of the last few conversations I had with my grandfather. Me and my family, we moved to Canada, and then I lived there for a decade before coming back here. And he was a farm. My grandfather was a farmer too, and on the last few conversations I had with him, he was telling me, because I was always complaining na um, my life in Canada has become very boring kasi you go from your 9 to 5 job, and I don't get to write as much, and I don't get to pursue my passions as much. And uh, uh, na-struck lang ako sa mga lines mo because it was very similar to what he would tell me before na sometimes it's not enough na you eat 3 times a day and you earn this much money kasi uh, it sucks the soul out of you. Thank you for sharing this. It brought back lovely memories I had with my grandfather. So I wish I could send you virtual hugs and comfort you. I really really love this poem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Louie. Okay, so next we have Edge.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, ayun. Ayun. Parang sobrang bigat nung poem na kayang hindi ko siya kayang mag-grasp. Kasi, parang pero yung parang pinaka takeaway ko sa kanya is yung last few lines. Parang nagsimula dun sa sinabi ni Raffy na memories are so absurd hanggang dito sa dulo na there are some bodies whose strongest hunger is of the soul. So, parang ang naisip ko sa kanya is this person, yung whoever the character is dito sa poem na it could be you. I mean, it must be you. Kasi sabi mo, parang it's about your grandfather. So, parang ang nakikita ko sa kanya is yung possession na tinutukoy mo is a good form of possession na parang gusto mo makapunta dun sa states where your grandfather is kasi he only has parang
Different, but okay.
sorry pero I don't want to say this pero I mean it's not that pero syempre 'di ba ang pinakamatinding kalaban ng tao ay yung oras. And parang I think yung poetry it says that he's running out of time to spend with his grandfather. Kaya parang gusto niyang mapossess yung soul ng grandfather niya in a way na parang gusto niyang pumunta sa stage para makapag-spend ng time with him. Tama ba? Parang ganun yung dating niya sa akin. Yun lang. So parang sobrang bigat niya pero at the same time ang ganda niya. And I don't know, parang if I could relate, I'm sure I would be crying right now. Pero I have some issues. Ayun. I think hindi ko lang kaya mag-empathize kasi I have problems with my grandfather. Pero I can see why you would want to be with your grandfather. Yun lang.
Thanks for that, Edge.
Thank you, Edge.
We understand that then. We might have issues with some of our own relatives. For me, nakita ko yung nag-comment ulit ako. For me, nakita ko yung nanay ko. Parang I was thinking of her when she's older. It's something hard to watch. Parang ganun. So, more than my grandfather, yung nanay ko yung nakikita ko in that position. So anyway, thank you, Edge. Okay, so let's move on to Jam. Okay. Hello, Jam. Can you hear us? Hello. Hello, Jam.
Is Jam there?
Jam, wala kang audio.
Walang audio si Jam.
Hindi mo
Naririnig niyo ba siya? Is he on mute?
No,
no
he's
audio.
unmuted pero walang naririnig.
No.
Okay. It's his connection.
Kailangan niya mag-reconnect. Jam, wala kang audio right now. So, let's give it a few seconds. Okay, parang wala. All right, so that's okay. For now, we'll move on to Corin. Sige, go ahead.
Ayun, iba raw muna.
Mm.
Nag-chat siya.
Ayan. Hi, Jam. Hello?
Yeah, so Corin,
Ako
ikaw
na ba
muna.
muna?
Yeah.
Okay, sige. Okay, wow. So, I'm still processing this, but when I read it, so my favorite lines muna are, yun nga, memories are so absurd. I remember my grandfather, that he's old, that he grew a flower between his palms. Um, when I read this, it reminds me of old, how old people hang into, they they cling to their memories. So what is the soul but like a collection of who you are, including your past, right? And when the poem described him, a body whose hands had tilled the earth becomes a madman. It's like this person has lost his being, has lost his soul because of too much work. He gave his life to his work. So tapos yung double function ng word na possession. So at first when I read possession, um I think parang I try to figure out what it means. So it's this old person trying to have a soul. So it's the other way around. It's like reverse. The body wanting to have a soul. But the poem starts wherein the body is being possessed by cancer. So yun yung you were not, instead of a soul, the body was given cancer. Parang ganun. So kaya ang bigat nung reversal. Anyway, yeah. But I'm not the type who writes poems when it's close to the event. Kasi ang hirap. Ang hirap gawin nito. So I admire people who do this. It actually reminds me of that because my dad passed away. He had cancer. So yung it's really hard to write about that. Even now. Parang it took me years to write about that. So parang you can't really say much about it. But I like how he articulated, there's parang there's not one emotion to feel about it when you hear news like this. So thank you for sharing this. Yun. I want to give hugs then to Vince. There's nothing much to explain really. Yun. It's yung mga ganitong tula, it serves a purpose. It's for people who need it. It's for people like us. When you're faced with death. So I actually may cathartic feeling kasi when you read poems like this. So I appreciate reading, something like this. I mean, kahit hindi ko alam na grandfather mo to or it's anyone you know. Yun. Thank you for sharing this poem.
All right, thank you,
Yun lang
Corin.
po. Mm.
Okay. All right, so next is Ira.
Hi, Vince. Thanks for sharing the poem. Well, honestly, I had to read it a lot of times. Like,
Yeah.
nung una, I really didn't get it. But then when I finally understood because of people commenting and also your explanation, then I felt the heaviness of the poem. And I like the concept of bodies because you use the word body a lot. Like in Orange County, a body, and then the soil being a body of vegetation. Because I also experienced death in my family, and when I saw my sister died, at the end it was really just a body, and like I saw the switch, like because she was dying, and then I really thought that it was not her anymore, that it was just a body, and she's really not there in that container of flesh. So the the feeling of having lost, I really felt it in this poem. And yeah, it is quite heavy and it's not easily understood in the beginning, but it's yeah, it's quite heavy and I really felt the emotion. And I agree with Core that I think a teacher also told us that when writing poetry, there's some kind of a psychic distance that you can tell the story from a perspective that you are not inside the situation. So I just got reminded of that. And I like this line specifically, whose hands had tilled the earth becomes a madman. That was really heavy, but that was also nice because, well, I don't want to say the word nice, but like it just like had an impact on me because yeah, actually maybe not everybody knows this, but at some point when people get very, very sick, it comes to their brain and they really start acting crazy because it just happens like when your organs are failing, it affects your brain. And then, so there's a point like some people before they go to a coma and die, they go crazy and they go wild. So that line kind of struck. Yeah, there's that. Thank you for sharing this poem with us. And yeah, sending you also hugs. And I'm happy that we all have writing because writing is really a way to process our emotions. It's almost like a kind of meditation therapy that you try to organize your feelings into words that you can, it's like you try to express your feelings like exactly how you feel it. And it's also a form of release, even though it's like reliving the pain in the process. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
wow.
all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ira, for that insight. That's nice. Okay, so now we have Jam back. Would you like to
Hello?
go? Yep.
Can you hear me na?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Vince, thank you for sharing this very beautiful poem. Um, Actually, I had to read it several times then in order to really process because I'm not really a poem person. But the more that I'm hearing the feedback of other, the others, I'm able to understand what this is really about. I like these lines. Memories are so absurd. I remember my grandfather that he's old, that he grew a flower between his palms. May I ask, is this the growing of the flower between his palms? Is this one particular memory that you found special about him?
Yeah, kasi ano like that's like my strongest memory of him kasi he always like his life almost in our family was like a source of some legend, like a resource of legend because his family was really poor, like in the province,
Mm.
but like he managed to skip like hop into onto different provinces until he reached Manila. But every time that he stays somewhere, that's what he does. Like he plants. So like he jumped to a different
Uh-huh.
province and he got a scholarship, and then like he was just planting so that parang the people
Right.
there would let him study. So I always associated him with the soil and like
So
plants.
talagang like
Like of
you really admired him for for being hardworking, like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Because the effect that this poem had on me, I also lost my grandparents. Recent lang din yung grandmother ko, father's side. My bond with her was really strong. And I'd like to share na I think the simplest memories of these of people who pass away are the best memories, I think. And uh, I don't know, when they pass, like these small moments, that's where you form your admiration for them. Like how my grandmother would let me just dig in. Like when I was a kid, she would just let me have my way with yung mga candy jars like in her room. Like I just grab all the candy that I want. So those memories really, you treasure them when they when they're gone. So yeah. So I appreciate these lines that you added, like the mga simple memories. So yeah, I like your point. It's very nice.
Yeah. I guess there's also like the advantage that he's far away from me kasi nasa stage siya.
Mm.
So I don't know. I always had that distance. I mean, we were able to spend some time when he visits here, but it's always that distance. So I guess I was able to think, what I feel in terms of the poem, and um, like my the background aside. If I can just talk about tula, I
Mm,
just
yeah.
thought kasi na parang the form of possession and bodies are like it's just a wellspring of like I don't know like a resource because like bodies can be possessed but bodies can also possess things inside and whatever's inside can we can possess or we can be possessed by it just like I think it's just rich because different forms of possessions I guess but yeah I guess it's just goes also beyond that parang I guess I get too close to the subject matter but appreciate all the comments.
All right. Thanks for that, Jam. And finally, for Isla, natutulog na daw yung mga kasama niya. So, hindi na siya pwede magsalita. So, I'll just read her comment. She's still processing it as well, but the redefining of possession from something devilish to its many variations and possibilities, and the separation of body to soul was really impactful. Last line was my favorite as well. Thank you for sharing this hugging emoji. So that's from Isla. Okay. um uh that's that is it. So we're actually done with the comments part of this. So once again, thank you for sharing, Vince. Next sharer will actually be me. Reshare ko lang yung link. And then and take it easy. Wala pa tong formatting or anything. This is just random stuff. Very short. So here we go. Standing in line, the concert crowd was wilder than usual. It had been 2 years before they started holding these again. In fact, the ticket in my hand was 3 years old. My backpack was black with the rest of my clothes. Inside was a bottle of Jack wrapped in a towel, wrapped in a raincoat. You can always say, baka umulan eh. Smile, no eye contact, less talk, less mistake. And eventually the guard will let you in. Even before you approach, open your bag wide. Show them everything. Bring other heavy things in there to explain the weight. A beach towel, an oversized raincoat, a thick paperback book. You've got nothing to hide. Place your contraband on the handle side. To explain. Uh oh. Wait a minute. Kung may live writing, may live editing. Place your contraband on the handle side to explain the tension. And you were there because we already bought the tickets. But we were no longer together, so you stood apart. Not sure if you remember, not sure if you care. The crowd was wild, but I stood still, not watching, not watching the legends on stage, but watching the back of your head. hoping you would turn. So that's it. Thanks, guys. So ako yung first commenter. I like it. It's really good. It's perfect. Okay, next person would be Louie. So thanks, guys, for listening. Yeah.
Lol.
Ako, I really like it. It's parang nakaset yata to after ng pandemic, like parang naka-recover na lahat
Yeah.
and concerts are a thing again. um although parang maiksi lang yung eksena niya, because nakaset nga siya sa panahon na tapos na yung pandemic. Ang daming nakapack, like yung relationships that ended, and how do you go back to doing normal things again, but then complexity ng yun nga, relationships na natapos na, but then you still have to go to this thing. Yun, I like na although maiksi lang yung eksena or yung image na pinakita, even without telling the readers na itong dalawang characters were a couple, ganyan deliberate, although hindi hayag na ganun yung nangyari, ang daming layers na sinasabi na ito yung possibly backstory niyan, and maybe this is what happened, ganun. I like it. Tsaka parang ang ganda niyang lagyan ng score na kung eksena siya sa pelikula. Ayun, thank you. I like it.
Thank you. Yes. So, yes, it's very great writing. I agree. Thank you.
Alam mo, pwedeng hindi ka muna mag-host kasi ikaw yung nabasa.
Oo nga eh. Parang
Pwedeng
taga
hindi
lang.
muna mag-host, no?
My
Sige.
God. Ba't ako yung host ng sarili ko? Anyway, thank you for that, Louie. So let's move on to Edge.
Unang pumasok sa isip ko yung nung nabasa ko tong line na to. Yung, not sure if you remember, not sure if you care. The crowd was wild, but I stood still, not watching the legends on stage, but watching the back of your head, hoping you would turn. Parang unang pumasok sa isip ko talaga yung kanta ng Shirebound and Busking. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him.
Yeah,
Wait, nakalimutan ko
actually.
yun. Ayun.
Galing sila.
Yung Miss Mosh, yung unang pumasok sa isip ko na tugtog. Parang, ayun. So basically what I'm saying is, it's good. Kasi favorite ko yung band na yun. Actually, pag napakinggan nyo yung buong album niya. Sorry, biglang hindi na naging tungkol kay Raffy. Biglang nag-promote ng song, ng music, ng band.
Shirebound and, yeah.
Ayun. So, parang, wala lang. Pag napakinggan nyo kasi yung album niya, parang walang tapong music. Walang tapong song. So, parang, parang basically what I'm saying is, yung scene niya, parang yun yung nakita ko sa scene na sinulat ni Raffy. So, I think it's good. So,
Wait, thank you. And like with Louis' comment, obviously yung pinili kong prompt yung song. So, yeah. So, lumabas yung pagka-music. Yeah. Right, thanks for that, Edge. So next we have Jam.
Right. I feel that this piece can be like a tutorial, like how to hide contraband.
Yes.
Hello?
Nice. Nice one, nice.
Expertise.
Expert.
Thanks for your comment, Jam. Moving on.
Contraband. Bye.
Yeah. Yan magaling si Raffy eh.
Nako. Si Jam, ano yan? Scientist sa South Korea, pero nung college days, ay nako. Anyway.
Ay, nako.
I learned from the best.
So, anyway, is that it? Is that your comment? Because we're gonna move on to the next na. Joke.
Yeah. Okay na yan.
Sige. Thank you. All right, so we have Corin next. Yep.
Wow. So, for this one, I think we all miss going to concerts. So, yeah, alam natin yan. May concert tickets tayo nang binili na never natin napuntahan. na hindi pa rin natin alam if ever matutuloy siya. So, this, for instances like that, it sounded something like that. And maganda yung surprise. So kung sa tulato may volta na yung you pala na sinasabi niya is not just a generic you. He was talking about a beloved. Kaya lang, 2 years later, hindi na sila magkasama. Sobrang simple lang niya actually. I like the way it's written. And I guess if you're going to explore this story further, it's going to be a more refined version of um I'm drunk, I love you. LU.
Hindi ko pa napapanood yan.
Yeah. Anyway, yun nga, music scene din yun. They were at the beach. Tapos, 5 minutes, this girl doesn't wanna leave yung tapat ng stage. Pero sinasabihan na siya ng best friend niya na umalis ka na, hindi ka naman mahal niyan. Yun. Pero nasa tapat lang siya ng stage. Pinapanood niya yung crush niya. So, this guy naman, the other way around, they used to be together, now they're no longer together. So, I don't know if you want to make this like a full story or you want to make a short film about, pero it's nice to explore relationships tapos post pandemic. Yun. Parang grabe no, it's napansin nyo ba? It's really changing how we write. Lumalabas talaga siya sa mga sinusulat natin.
Yeah,
How our
parang,
lives affect us, no? Grabe. So, yun lang comment ko.
Right. Thank you for that, Corin. So now we have Ira next.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So I like but what do you call this? Isn't there a name for it? Do you like isn't it vignette something?
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's just
like a
Yeah,
vignette. Yeah.
vignette. Yeah.
right?
Mm-mm.
And I like how the idea of heartbreak is very light. Like it's not so heavy. Like you just hope that the person would turn. And when I was reading it, I also like this word contraband. I also stopped. I'm like, oh, does he have
Contraband.
like what? Is he selling drugs there? What? And then I realized, it was the alcohol. It was inside was a bottle of Jack. Yeah, so I had to go back. And I like how there's a significant portion. Nah, it's just describing how you get into the concert. So parang may first of all, there's anxiety, a little bit of anxiety because you're hiding something and then you have to go through all the security checks. But it's also because there is someone that you might see. So I like that part. And I also like this line, not sure if you remember, not sure if you care, because it's been a while. So there's the concept of years had passed. Pero I like how na-capture yung even if it's been a couple of years, you would still wanna see the person, even if it's just like a simple turn. So that's nice. It's very light. I like vignettes like this when the idea of heartbreak is just it's easy. It's new. It still feels good, even if it's heartbreak.
Heartbreak
So it's
feels
nice.
good. Joke lang.
I mean,
Okay.
in some way, it's a sweet thing.
Kasi,
Some heartbreaks is bittersweet.
right.
Like things don't work out, but you're still happy to have found the person. Or it's not everything is painful. And it's nice to twist that idea when a lot of things about heartbreak are written very, sad, but there's another side to it.
Right. Wow.
So yeah.
Thank you, Ira, for that. Um, okay. Ang weird nga na ako yung host sa akin. Thank you for that. Next we have Isla. I'll just read her comment. Paano ba yung voice ni Isla? I love the joke.
What?
I love the detail. Ano ba yan? Lasing na ako. Teka lang. I love the detail na the ticket in my hand is 3 years old. Okay. Grabe, wag naman ganun katagal, Lord. It also makes me remember attending concerts, specifically UP Fair, which made me sad. Haha. The details are great and I especially love the ending. I know. The joke lang. Thank you, Isla. Ay, nako, Raffy. Dapat pala may ibang host. Anyway, so there. Next, thank you for that, Isla. Next, we have Vince.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know if you considered it. How do you say it? Vignette or like prose poem. Are there parallelisms between the two? I guess so, because they're both in prose. But whatever it is, I don't know. I like it. I also got that. Some of the comments, like what I forgot who said it. Ira, I think, and Corin. And there's heartbreak. There's that subtle sense of heartbreak, especially with the lines. Not sure if you remember. Not sure if you care. Um, so I feel like I know, like to comment on that, I know, like sense of heartbreak. The subtlety, I feel like speaks of like whatever whoever the persona is in the process of coping with heartbreak, because parang it admits that the beloved can forget about this, cannot care about this, but at the same time, it's also so close to the event. And speaking of the event, I like how the moment is condensed, and I find it, like clever and I guess intense that the moment is condensed into the persona's attention to the objects. Like it's so detailed that objects and the beloved are alive, even if you're just talking about bottles. The way that you describe them, parang it's always there's always movement. Like it's a secret between the two lovers. Like when you say like a smile, no contact. Like it can be because of it can be out of your slyness, out of covering whatever you have, but it can also be like the secret between the two lovers. You know. So it's very subtle. I like that. And yun, yeah, like the objects and the beloved are so alive. You're just talking about objects, but because the objects is at the same given the same attention as the little of the beloved that we see here, it's like everything is just happening around you, like you're also immersed because of the attention to the objects. And about the beloved, I like that because parang you really get the sense of heartbreak there, and I guess a little bit of the feeling of loneliness. I want kong intentional kasi you're talking about so many things in detail, pero when you talk about the beloved, sobrang lang, like it's just a facade. You don't even describe the beloved. You're just talking about like other things. Pero when the beloved comes into the picture, like it's so powerful. Like the presence of the beloved dominates the poem. Like even with just a smile, feel the presence of the beloved. And then I like how the ending is also directed to that. Um, and I just find it a great ending because it's like the attention is towards the beloved, but persona is waiting. It's just it's also like you're on the edge. What's gonna happen? Is she gonna turn or not? Yun, I like it.
Oh wow, thank you,
Wow.
Vince. Ang ganda. Thank you. And I like the idea that you think that it could be a prose poem. Actually, hindi rin ako sure what I wrote. Pero I only have 30 minutes. I'm not sure what to do really. So, pero I like na you picked up the ideas behind the objects. Although hindi ko siya stinate, parang maybe some of these, syempre it's like post-pandemic, maybe some of these have significance between the two lovers, parang ganun. And then, mm, yun lang. So thanks for that. And yeah, I'll look into that. I'm interested in the prose poem idea. Siguro, one additional thing before we move on to the next reader. When you're, kasi nahuli na ako ng ganyan eh. May Jack Daniels, pero nasa baba ng bag. So, nung tinap yung stick ng security guard, nagtunog, nag-clink yung glass. So, so what you can do, sa side siya, tapos you have a thick paperback book. Kasi when guards see books, you're like, this kid is a student. This person reads. Or
Di ba workshop to? Bakit may
wait lang,
tips?
wait.
May
uh,
tips?
smuggling tips. So if you have a book right against the bottle, they're not gonna tap in that direction, and it's on the side where your hand is grabbing the book and the bottle is hidden between your hand and the thick book. Hindi siya lata. So they tap the bottom, they grab the sides. It's ano, hindi siya nahalata. Anyway, yun lang. Smuggling tips.
Tama si
So,
Jam.
true.
Alam niya.
Contraband
Yeah.
tips pa.
Ayan
Okay.
na.
Tutorial to eh.
Off topic na naman tayo.
Post na ng
Anyway,
question.
so guys,
Question and answer.
okay, so we have for our next reader, and actually our final reader for this evening, we have Louie. So, oh my, Louie, we don't have an intro for you,
Ah,
Yes.
yes.
but Louie is
Kasi
an
saling kit-kit
amazing
lang, humabol.
Louie is an amazing person, inside and out. Yes, she's a in the poetry night thing. What I remember is you write for TV and film, right? So yeah, go
Sometimes.
ahead if you want to do a bit of intro for yourself. Go now. So,
Ah, yun lang. I write for film and TV sometimes. Not as often as I'd like to, but yeah. Ayun. I'll share na. Do I have to resend the link or you guys
Can you
have it?
send it again? Natabunan na kasi siya eh.
yes.
Sige, sige.
Mm-mm.
Si Edge kasi ang
Hold
daming
on.
side comments.
Joke
Oh,
lang yun,
dumilevel up
May
si
Ryan
Ed.
Reynolds pa. Love it.
Biglang may gif. Saan galing yan?
There. Okay.
Yay, okay.
This was prompted by ano. Actually, hindi song eh. Parang I've been listening to Miguel's album recently. So, ayan. Synesthesia. The curve part, the plump of your lips. Tell me you are curious, excited, and afraid. I feel, taste the tremble each time you speak. Hush. Let my mouth undress of your anxiety, your inhibitions, your fear of regret. Let me take it off of. Let me touch before touch parts of until you scream taboos into existence. Let my fingers travel your stretched marks. You will remember you are resilient. You will not easily break. Let my tongue trace the strength of your spine. You will stop looking for wishbones now. Remember you are fire and magic. Let me fully experience you the only way I know how. Allow me to reap stories from your mountains and hills. Allow me to plant words on your edges and corners and bask in your sweat and salt water. I will slowly, gently recite your poetry until your body recognizes the futility of hiding it. Know that no matter how poetic, there is no room, no use for unspoken thoughts and feelings under the grave. So we'll risk running away into the night, under the watch of crickets and coconut trees, a stolen tent fit for hands tracing and discovery. Sun dawning on sand, sand sticking onto salty skin, skin on skin on skin. Thank you.
Yay.
All right. Thank you so much, Louie. Awesome. So, yes, let's start with our roundtable. So we have Edge.
Ay, hello. Yeah, Louie Louie.
Hi.
Natuwa ako doon sa name. Parang nung first na pinakinggan ko, sobrang ang calming effect niya sa akin. I don't know if it's her voice. Pero ang ano eh, yung the way she read it, it felt like I was taken into a parang how do I describe it? Parang ano siya eh, safe space. Parang ganun yung pakiramdam niya.
Oh,
It,
wow.
it felt so wholesome. Parang, ayun. So, tas parang, ito yung pinaka-favorite line ko nung sinabi niya na, until your body recognizes the futility of hiding emotions. Know that no matter how poetic, there is no room, no use for unspoken thoughts and feelings under the graves. Parang, parang ano, ewan, may something sa kanya na nag-urge na umamin, parang ganun, or something. Yun. Yun yung ano ko. Ayan, ito
But
rin yung tinype din ni Gentle. Let my mouth undress you. Yan yung calming effect eh. Dito nawala yung parang nawala yung anxieties and yung fear of regrets ko. Parang ganun yung nangyari nung binabasa niya rin tong line na to.
Oh
Ayun.
my.
Yun lang.
Oh
Wow.
my.
So, yan.
kailangan mo ng ibang medicine.
Yun yung
Anong medicine?
nagpakalma sa'yo.
Baka hindi poetry
Interesting.
ang kailangan.
Ay,
Baka meds na talaga.
Oh
Iba
my,
na.
okay.
Oh my God.
Ba na yung pantagal ng anxiety?
Mm.
Okay.
Volume. Sure.
Wow.
Value
Doon
agad.
napunta.
Contraband na naman. Alright,
Contraband.
so thanks so much, Edge, for that. Next
Thank
we
you.
have Jam.
Yeah, this is the most wholesome erotic I've ever read. Yung alam mo yung it feels so sexy and erotic at the same time wholesome siya. Ano ba? I'm reading it again. Ako, I like it. It's how yun yung mga pinost ni Gentle again here sa natin. Like, let my mouth undress you of your anxiety, your inhibitions, your fear of regret. So if my therapist worked that way, I would get that therapist.
Yes.
Oh my.
Pwede na
Oops.
palang
Oh
rumakit.
my.
Teka.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Si
Ayun.
Lucifer at
So,
saka
Yeah,
ano
yeah.
pangalan? Si Lucifer and Linda.
so let my fingers travel your stretches and marks. You will remember you're resilient. Yeah, yun nga. I mean, it builds you at the same time. It makes you feel ano din. Like it builds you up, and at the same time it's so sexy. So, ewan ko. So
Yes. Sexy.
I don't know
Yes.
why I mean, I like the fact that it's sexy, but the effect of it being sexy is kind of fighting sa effect of it being wholesome, na parang you're a strong person, you can do anything, ganon. Am I making sense?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yun.
Yeah.
So, until your body recognizes futility of hiding emotions. Yeah. So, parang siguro like just I don't know. Like but I like the effect ah. I mean, I'm just trying to you know, uh, get a feel for the sexiness of it and the main message of the poem.
Oh god.
Ayun. So anyway, you can get back to me, but I have mixed feelings about it actually. But those are good feelings.
Oh my god.
I just don't know what particular thing I can get out of it.
I think
Mm.
2 minutes are up. The joke lang.
Yeah.
No,
You
no, no,
can,
no.
you
Joke
can.
lang. Thank you, thank you. All right, so thanks for that, Jam. Okay, so next we have Corin.
Hi. Wow.
Hi.
So, yeah, I wanna ask, tinanong din actually ni Isla, what song inspired this? If there's a song that,
Ah,
you know.
parang
Mm-mm.
parang walang particular song. May lumang album si Miguel na parang 'di ba ano na ngayon, nagno-notify ng Spotify ngayon yung how your year went. And then
Yeah.
parang
Mm-mm.
so parang napansin ko na yung songs of that old album of Miguel na halos lahat ng songs were played. So yun, parang naka-loop lang siya recently.
Oh, so it's the entire album. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to check that out. So, parang taking off from sa sinabi ni Sir Jam, he said he has mixed emotions, pero they're good emotions. I think if the project is synesthesia, then it's successful. Kasi the entire concept of synesthesia is you actually you did something else with it eh. Kasi 'di ba parang you're doing the erotica pero wholesome nga siya. So for people who don't know what synesthesia is, it's experiencing sensations a particular sensation with another part of your senses. For example, you taste something when you hear music or um when you when you see a particular color, um nalalasahan mo siya. So that's the entire concept of synesthesia. So yung ginawa po ni ate dito, I love it. Parang through through the sensuality of it, yung actions nung persona, um it gave the reader or ikaw yung beloved. Ikaw na reader si beloved. So, kasi parang in place of the beloved na sinusulatan niya dahil binabasa mo to, nafe-feel mo yung nais niyang gawin sa'yo. And it's beyond sex, which I love. So, parang I love the sound, the rhythm, and how lightly it, alam mo yun, it wasn't so overly, parang you can say it directly, pero there's no art in that. Pero this one, it took the time to like meander or like talk about parts of your body, ganyan. Alam mo yun, parang it reminds me of this poem by Robert Hass. Yung title niya, ano yun, The Privilege of Being. So, medyo malayo. Pero it has something to do with bakit nga ba? Why is sex pleasurable? Because it's one way for people to experience, to feel unquantifiable things. Parang, I can tell you I love you every day. Pero nararamdaman mo ba? Pero, basahin ko sa'yo yung tulang to. Yawn. Yun. Yeah, yun yung dating niya sa akin. So, thank you for sharing this. This is nice. Para siyang therapy erotic poetry. This is the kind of thing that I would like to like read or listen to. It's nice. Parang if I imagine this if there's like a spoken word event, yan, tapos pa-perform mo siya. Tapos yung mga tao sa crowd parang, ano yun? Yun. Parang ganun. Yung reaction ng mga tao. It's nice. Yun.
Thank you.
Mm-mm.
That's awesome. Thank you, Corin. All right, so next we have Ira.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. First of all, hey, it's so nice that you wrote something in half an hour, and it's actually a long poem.
Actually,
So great work. And yeah, that's really nice. So you really have crazy concentration. And when so like my first impression was in the beginning I wasn't sure it was erotica. Like in the first paragraph, if all, the first dance is already like that, but I thought, okay, what's going on? Okay. So okay, I also like that it's quite a wholesome erotica, and I think the title works great. Like it made much more sense for the poem. Like the title is really nice, and but I don't know if it's just me or I'm not really sure. But while reading this, I could really imagine that it was written by a woman because I think I don't know. Okay, I don't really want to say anything bad.
No,
I mean,
no,
again,
go ahead.
no, I mean I don't want to say
Go ahead.
anything bad to men, but I think women are really more nurturing. So we kind of really have that in us that, for example, when it's about about sex or whatever, it means more to us, you know. So that's why, for example, when you wrote, let my mouth undress you of your anxiety, your inhibitions, your fear of regret, like when we have lust or when we feel attracted to someone, like it's not just about like it's not just about the sex itself, but about all the other things, like we feel like we want to take care of the person, we want to make sure the
Yes.
person is all right. And but I think, like, I don't know, I think I haven't, maybe I should try reading erotica written by a man and see how they make it work, because I don't know, but maybe I'm also misguided. So yeah. Anyway, I really like that the erotica is not just about the body, but also about like the soul of the person, that you really like the person as So it's a nice erotica. It's not just sex, and also beautiful words. And I like that it also sounds like a rendezvous. That it
Mm.
was like a meeting into the night at the beach or something. That's how I got, because you have sand and stuff. And I also like the use of having salty skin, because I feel like you're talking about the ocean, but it's also like when the body starts to become sweaty and salty. Yeah, so it's nice. That's it.
Oh
Thanks.
my. Oh
Hilda
my
Oh
Vinces
my.
and
my.
Lagos.
That is a great assessment, and it connects with your poem then, Ira. So
Lagos. Yeah.
Lagos with the
Lag-
Caperina, cold water,
Yeah.
and then you hi Jam. And then you go into synesthesia. That's the next.
Yun
It's the
yun.
follow up. Whew. All right. So okay. So by the way, that's a challenge accepted for Can Men Write Erotica? We will see
Yes.
Yeah.
on our new erotica channel na pinupush ni Jam.
Erotica
Um,
night ba 'to?
oh,
Yeah, we
oh,
should have an
guys.
erotica night.
Oh my God.
Erotica right night.
Schedule na ba tayo ng erotica
Easy
night?
now. All right.
Yes,
So,
why not?
yeah, why not? Pwede naman. You know what? The past events are all created
Yun yung
during.
totoong dirty 30, sabi ni
Actually,
Vince.
Actually,
Dirty 30, the erotica night.
yes, pwede,
Dirtier
pwede.
Next
30.
time.
Dirtier 30.
Dirtier 30.
Dirtier 30. And
Sabi ni
actually,
Vince, yun yung totoong dirty 30.
yes,
Yun
sir.
nga.
And actually, all of the events that we have so far were created as suggestions during the event. So this event, credits to Vince Agawili for spearheading or creating this. So next, uh, well, Christmas, pero probably that's gonna be our next event, Dirty or 30. I love it, erotica night. So, yeah. And- Sorry, ginagawa ko ng mechanics.
Okay.
Wait
Go
lang,
lang.
next.
Ay,
So,
meron pa. Hindi pa tapos ang
hindi pa tapos, hindi pa
comments.
tapos. Next, we have Isla, of whom I'll read. So, this was, teka lang. Okay, ang ganda. I love the words and the phrasing. It's the perfect ending for the night. Ha ha ha. I agree na ang ganda ng wholesome plus erotica. What song inspired this? Okay, so
hanapin ko nga yung album, and then I'll post the name of the album. If you guys want to listen to it.
yeah, you might want to check it out. Thank you. So yeah, that was the comment of Isla. So yeah, we can
Thank
move
you,
on
Isla.
to Vince.
I like it. I like it. That's what I can say. I really like it. I think the other guys, I mean, everyone, not just the guys, like everyone said. I think all of the things I wanted to say. But I agree with Corinne that it did achieve synesthesia, and I just like to commend the control of your lines, because it's just to me it the lines are always like I mean, it can be everything, it can be many things, but there's always a surprise. What's gonna come next? What's gonna come next? And that's always what I have in. That's always what I look for when I'm reading. At least one of the few that I always do look for. And I was just surprised because it's like you exploited the control of the lines. Like it even reminded me. Of course, that's the effect. That the control of your lines is your control as a beloved, loving or making love to your beloved. Um, I love that, especially
Wow.
yung I will slowly, gently recite your poetry. So playful.
Yes.
No, it's like you're building up to something. I like that. I got reminded of Jimmy Page sa Led Zeppelin. He said that
Wow.
the solo in in Stairway to Heaven is really designed to mimic an orgasm. Like the whole song actually of Stairway to Heaven. That's why it's so gentle, but then towards the end, it's so heavy already. But the lead solo is very sensual, and I think that it's like you're also playing with the lines that way, and I just like that. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really sexy. The poem's really sexy.
Yeah.
All right, that is amazing. And so ends our event. Last word of the event is sexy. We have a new we have also created a new event while in this event once
Nagkaroon
again.
ng bagong
Yun ang
event.
nagkaroon ng bagong channel under Pros Erotica.
Dapat
So
nga,
Diba?
matagal na may erotica.
credits
Tama
to
yan.
Ira and Jam. So that is it. Thanks so much, guys. Walang conclusion, no? Walang wrap up. It's just oh, sorry. Yung comment ko is like what Corin said actually. It's something great to read to a lover. So parang you'll be the responsible godmother Louis for so many future writers. What? Because when people can, people, this is something you can read to your lover, or yeah, it's nice if read very slowly. Very nice to revisit. Um, actually, wala na akong sasabihin. I have so that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us once again for our Right Night events. You guys are awesome,
Yes. Thank you
and yeah,
guys for signing
amazing.
up.
Let's end by clap for
Yeah.
everyone.
Clap for everyone. Thank you. I mean, I really had no idea how it's gonna turn out. Pero wow, you guys are so
Ang
amazing.
galing nyo.
Even with like biglaang prompt, everyone is just so out there. So next time, sige, let's do something with erotica. Hope you guys can join us again next time. Salamat! Magandang gabi!